Hi, my name is Dale Maley. Today in this video I'm going to explain how to design and build pretty rugged heavy-duty wood bookcase. And I built 4 of these over the last 24 years, and they've given excellent service. They take really heavy like textbooks very well. So I had some design goals for these, which included relatively easy to build. I wanted to use common number 2 pine. It's mostly made out of 1x12s. Want to be able to fully load these up with heavy books. You can adjust my basic design to really fit any width or height that you need for your application. I want a nice looking base and I want these to be portable as well. Now I use a free computer drafting program called SketchUp, and I designed these bookcases in SketchUp as shown in the illustration on the right. And you can change the basic design around, any width of shelf you want, the number of shelves, and the spacing of the shelves. We're just going to cover the basic methods of how to build this type of bookcase. Now let's take a look at the type of joints I used in this design. On the top of the bookcase, this is the upper left-hand corner, you can see the top piece meets the left-hand side piece, and the top piece has a groove in it. It's 3/4 of an inch wide, and it's about 1/2 an inch deep, which leaves you 1/4 inch on that top piece. Then the side is just a sawed off 90 degrees up there. Now the top, bottom, sides, and the shelves are all from 1x12 pine, and then they're sawn to the final width that you need. Now the sides and the tops are 11 inches. The shelves would be 1/4 inch less than that because my back panel is 1/4 inch plywood. So the shelves would be 10 3/4. Now I used mortise and tenon joints to attach the shelves to the sides of the bookcase. So the mortise or pocket in the sides is 1/2 an inch high and 5/8 deep. And then I started those mortises 1 inch back from the front, and then 1 inch kind of forwards from the back, as you can see in the illustration. On your shelf, the tenons are 1/2 inch high to match the mortise, and then they're 1/2 inch long, which fit in the groove and leave you a little bit of clearance. And those will be glued up and clamped at final assembly. Now the back of my bookcase, I've used 1/4 inch thick plywood, and it's shown on the right hand side of this illustration. And a final assembly that will be glued to the sides and the tops and bottoms and nailed. Now instead of 1/4 inch plywood, you could use 3/16 inch Luan, which is a nicer type of plywood and finishes a little nicer, but it's up to you. Here's an illustration of the joint at the bottom left hand side of the bookcase, where the left hand side of the bookcase meets the bottom piece. And that joint's very similar to the top joint, where the groove is 3/4 of an inch wide and 1/2 inch deep, as I showed earlier. Now let's look at the base of the bookcase. And there's 2 sides and a front piece. They're all 3 inches high and standard 3/4 inch thick pine. You can route a decorative shape on top of the boards as shown here. And then I did some cutouts to kind of make it look prettier. And those cutouts on the bottom are 1 inch high. Now on the left and right hand side, I started those 2 inches from either end. Then on the front, I started the cutout 3 inches from the left hand side and 3 inches from the right hand side. And of course the joint there is a 45-degree miter joint. Now to reinforce the bottom brackets, which take all the weight from the bookcase and all the books, needs to be pretty heavy duty. So what I did, I used some 4 inch by 4 inch angled blocks in the 2 corners as shown here. Then I also added some metal chair brackets, and I've got one here below the corner block. Then I've got another one as shown on the right hand side, which attaches to that bottom piece of the bookcase. Those are available at many different places. They're usually called chair rail brackets. You can also get them from rockler.com. Now here's a photograph of one of my 4 bookcases, and it's not all shiny and new because it's been in service for 24 years. but it does show you the molding piece on the left hand side. I have a decorative routing on the top, and then I have the cutout on the bottom. And the bookcase itself actually sits on the inner 1/8 inch of those 3 bottom moldings. Now here's a photograph actually looking up underneath the bookcase. It's turned upside down, and you can see the bottom frame down there. You can see the 45-degree angle glue block in the corner. You can see a chair rail, the metal copper shiny piece above it, and you can see another chair rail over on the left hand side. So on this one bookcase you need 2 of the glue blocks, and you need 4 chair rails. Now here's 2 photographs of 2 of the bookcases I built almost 24 years ago. They've been in continuous service. Sorry, the one on the left is not empty. It's actually full of books. It's currently in service. It's a taller one. And then the one on the right is a smaller version. Exact same design details, just a different width and different height and a little bit different shelf spacing. So you can really make these any way you want. So some closing thoughts on the bookcase project. I think these bookcases have a nice appearance. I think they actually have a nice patina after 24 years in service. They've really proven their rugged design, because I've built 4 of these. They've been in service over 24 years, and they've been completely full of books, most of them. The photographs here, I've actually recently cleaned some of them out. So I think it's a nice project. It's a little bit nicer looking than just plain Jane pound some boards together. So in summary, this video explains how to build some nice looking and very rugged bookcases. Hopefully this video gives you some ideas for how to build your own bookcases or other related woodworking projects. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Thanks again.